Hi, my name is Sreejesh Nair. I'm an audio application specialist with Avid and also a member of the post-production judging section for IRAA. Now, IRAA is very special to me. In fact, this is one of the most stringent and the most comprehensive juries I've been on, because this is probably one of the only awards that is there for sound engineers by sound engineers. So the entire judgment, everything is extremely stringent. I know for a fact because when we were judging some of the entries, in fact, when we were judging all of the entries in post production, we had to look for things like compression, for distortion, for panning corrections, for reverb matches, for dialogue tonality, Foley tonality. All of these were taken into consideration. And there was also a lot of discussion and debates on when the awards came to when deciding the winner for the awards as well, because like I said, it's a very comprehensive process, and it is very important to understand what how good a mix is. For example, because sometimes some of the mixes are completely out of the box, in terms of their design, in terms of their thinking, in terms of their approach. And it's very important that we as members also understand that this is something that is a creative decision. So how would we judge a creative decision like that? All of these things were taken into a lot of consideration as well. It is one of the most stringent ones I've been through. In fact, when we were looking at things, we were even debating about, a dB level of changes, whether that was a creative thing, whether that was a mistake, whether that was unintentional. All of those things. How good are the dialogues matched between scenes, between the scenes of the same location? What are the reverbs? What are the context of those reverbs? It is that detailed into which these judgments were made. And not only that, if any of the members, if any of the jury members has their entry in that particular section, then that jury member steps out of the whole discussion. So he is not part of that decision making process at all. And that is why this is also extremely transparent. This is absolutely not a popularity voting. This is not a case of who's the most popular, which is the most popular film. Absolutely not. It was also so stringent that if there were entries that were not up to the mark, there were no awards for that as well. So in a sense, we've taken a very critical approach to these awards, and that is why these awards also for me personally carry a huge weight and a huge amount of respect for me as well, because there are not a lot of awards that go into this detail of judgment, in terms of what you look for as well. So from the post-production section, we had a lot of entries. We had a lot of very interesting entries as well, and we listened through everything. If the submission was a 1 hour submission, we listened through the entire hour. If it was a 20-minute submission, we listened through the 20-minute submission. It was not like picking out 5 minutes randomly from that and listening. And the reason for that was, it has to have a complete and fair judgment. We cannot assume the quality of any work by looking at a portion of it. So when we were looking at the films, for example, when streaming or episodes were sent, the entire episodes were watched. And that is when we come to a conclusion and we make a judgment based on that. And it was very difficult. It was quite challenging. There were a lot of good entries as well. And I think as an industry, when an industry recognizes its own kin, I think those awards stand for the most, and those awards carry the most weight in any sense. So yeah, so this is what I wanted to tell you about the post-production section and how stringent we were. We even loudness matched each one of these except for the streaming ones, because the streaming ones were already loudness matched, just so that we weren't influenced by the levels, by the overall loudness. And everyone has been given equal weightage prior to listening to this and prior to judging this as well. So this is how, like a quick view into how we looked at, or how we went through the whole post-production decision or post-production jury. There is an equal amount of work that is done on the music side and the music production side and all of those ones as well. So I hope you take part in this again, and this is in fact one of the most not popular. In fact, this is one of the most stringent awards that I've ever come across, and have the honor to be a part of jury as well. Thank you.